previous class we discussed about resources, sources of materials, and exhaustible resources and inexhaustible resources. Now we'll discuss one more topic. List out the natural resources which are limited and which are abundant and record your observation. Okay, so now we will discuss about resources abundant. Okay, here one table is there. In that table resource abundant, which resources are abundant, which resources are limited given. So which resources are abundant? Solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, biomass energy, water. So these are the resources abundant, means these are inexhaustible resources. And which resources are limited? Coal, petroleum, natural gas. These resources are limited. Okay, so solar energy, wind energy, and tidal energy, biomass energy, water are resources abundant. Coal, petroleum, natural gas, these are resources limited. What will happen if fossil fuel like coal and petroleum are completely exhausted? So there would be no fuel for cooking. If we use the fossil fuel like coal and petroleum completely, there would be no fuel for cooking, and there would be no fuel for transport. There would be no fuel for running machinery, and there would be no fuel for producing electricity. So life on the earth become miserable. Okay. What would be our future energy resources? The future energy resources are hydroelectric power, solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, geothermal energy. Okay, na? So what would be the future energy resources? The future energy resources are hydroelectric power, solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, geothermal energy, ocean thermal energy, okay, biomass energy. The entire research and development in the field of sources of energy shows that at the present rate use of the conventional energy sources like fossil fuel will not be last for a long. Okay. Presently only 10% of non-conventional energy resources like solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy are used. Okay. These are inexhaustible resources and abundantly available in the nature. So the entire research and development in the field of sources of energy, they shows that we uses the fossil fuels like coal and petroleum products more. Okay, so but for the formation of coal and petroleum it will take many years of time. Okay, but for the formation of this coal and petroleum it will take many years of time, but these resources we are using very less time. Okay, within days we are completing these resources. So if we use these resources like that only without any care, then what happen in future we will face so many problems. Okay, so that's why use these resources carefully. But here inexhaustible resources like wind energy, tidal energy, solar energy will be there, no? But in that we are using only 10%, but so much amount of wind and air, soil, sunlight is available, but from that we are using only 10% only. So it is better to depend on these resources, means which are inexhaustible. Which are inexhaustible means like solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, on that it is better to depend. Okay, so why? Because so much amount of sunlight, water, air is available in the nature, that's why it is better to depend on that. Are the fossil fuels resources available plenty to meet the future energy needs? So here the fossil fuel resources are available is that are enough to fill our needs? No. A survey gives the information that about 2015 the world people would consume half of the total reserves petroleum. So coal is also an exhaustible resources. We can meet our needs with coal for another 250 to 300 years at the current rate of use. Are the fossil fuel resources available enough to meet the future energy needs? No. A survey gives an information that about 2015 the world people would consume half of the total reserves of petroleum. Coal is also an exhaustible resource, so we can meet our needs with coal for another 250 to 300 years at the current rate of use. So the fossil fuels which are renewable, that are enough in our future? No. Why? Because so for the formation of this coal and petroleum it will take many years of time, but we are using that coal and petroleum products within very less days, so that are not enough. That's why it is better to use the coal and petroleum products with more care. Do you know biofuels are one of the major non-conventional energy resources? They are non-toxic and renewable. So this biodiesel is one of the biofuel which is an alternative or additive fuel source to the standard diesel fuel which is used now. It is made from biological ingredients instead of petroleum or crude oil. This biodiesel is usually made from the plant's oils or animal fat through a series of chemical reactions. So it is safe and can be used in diesel engines. Okay, so but biodiesel requires more cultivable land, which may be affect the shortage of food production in nature. So this biofuel is one of the major non-conventional energy resource. They are non-toxic and renewable. This biodiesel is one of the biofuel and which is an alternative or additive fuel sources to the standard diesel fuel which is used now. Nowadays we are using this diesel. In the place of this diesel we can use this biodiesel also. Okay, it is made from biological ingredients instead of petroleum or crude oil. This biodiesel is usually made from the plant oils or animal fat through a series of chemical reaction. It is safe and can be used in diesel engines. Now we will discuss about the coal, petroleum and natural gas as a fuels. Earlier people used kiln, means poyi. Okay, we are calling in Telugu poyi. That is for cooking food. But now people use gas stoves or kerosene stoves. Okay, so earlier people they used kiln for cooking food, but now people use gas stoves or kerosene stoves. Earlier food was cooked using the wood as a fuel. Okay, earlier days they used their food by using the wood as a fuel. Then they used coal. Now kerosene and LPG are used. So earlier people they used wood for cooking. After some days they used coal, and nowadays we are using kerosene or LPG for cooking. Okay, this fuel is needed not only for cooking but also for transport. Okay, this fuel is not only for cooking, it is used for transport also. Different vehicles like trains, bus, cars, two-wheelers are used for traveling a long distance. This fuel also need for transport, means different vehicles like train, bus, cars, two-wheelers that are used for traveling long distance, and they use different fuels. Okay, people also travel by ships. What fuel is used there? Okay, fuel is also required for electricity generation. Earlier you read that wind power was used in windmills. Okay, wind power was used in mills. Then the steam engine, which is used coal, was invented during the industrial revolution. So during this period steam engine was used to power everything from classrooms to vehicles on the land and water. Coal was the most important fuel in the 19th century. It is an exhaustible resource, but we can meet our needs for another 250 to 300 years at the current rate of use. Till 1950, coal accounted for the half of the electricity generation in the world. Coal was replaced by the petroleum with the invention of more efficient engines. So now coal is mostly used to produce the electricity in thermal power plant. For the generation of power also we need fuel. Okay, this wind power was used in mills. Then steam engine, which is used coal, was invented during the industrial revolution. During this period steam engine was used to power everything from classrooms to vehicles on land and water. Okay, so earlier wind power was used in mills. Then the steam engine, which used coal, was invented during the industrial revolution. steam engine, which was used in coal, was invented during the Industrial Revolution. During this period, this steam engine is used to power everything from classrooms to vehicles, which is run on the land and water. So coal was one of the most important fuel in the 19th century. It is an exhaustible resource. Okay, it is an exhaustible resource, but we can meet our needs for another 250 to 300 years. Means this is an exhaustible resources, but with this we can use to our needs for up to 250 to 300 years at the current rate of use. Till 1950, for the for the generation of power, they used coal only. Okay, but this coal was replaced by the petroleum with the invention of more efficient engines. After some days, more efficient engines are invented. So in the place of this coal, they used petroleum in the more efficient engines. Now coal is mostly used to produce the electricity in thermal power plants. Okay, coal is an ancient gift serving modern society. Okay, so this coal is an ancient gift serving modern society. Coal has been known and used for thousands of years. Okay, so this coal has been known and used for thousands of years. It is one of our earliest source of heat and light, but it became a fuel of importance only after the Industrial Revolution, which led to an increasing in the demand as a fuel. So we know that coal from so many years onwards we are using that coal also. So it is one of the earliest source of heat and light. Okay, but it became as a fuel of importance only after the Industrial Revolution, which led to an increasing the demand as a fuel. Do you know that the coal obtained from the firewood and the coal used in vehicle and factories are different? You know that the coal obtained from the firewood and the coal used in the vehicles and factories are different. Okay, coal used in factories is mined from the earth crust. Okay, the coal used in the factories, that is mined from the earth crust, and the coal obtained from the firewood is usually charcoal. Okay, so the coal which is obtained from the firewood is called as charcoal. The coal used in the factories, that is mined from the earth crust. So petrol and diesel which are used in vehicle today are obtained from the minerals are called as petroleum. The petrol and diesel which we are using in vehicles today are that are obtained from the minerals that are called as petroleum. This petroleum has been known almost since prehistoric times. Okay, more than 4,000 years ago, asphalt, this is one of the petroleum product that was used in the construction of walls and towers of Babylon. So they are also record from the ancient China about shallow wells being dug to get the petroleum. Okay, so the China people also they dug the wells for petroleum also. So but what did our ancestors do with this petroleum? So with this petroleum, what did our ancestors did? They mainly used it for making their wooden boats waterproof and as a fuel for lamps and in some traditional remedies. Okay, so we realized the importance of petroleum only after science and technology progressed to give us petrochemicals and petrol running engines. So this petroleum and diesel which are used in vehicles today are obtained from the minerals that are called as petroleum. This petroleum has been known almost since prehistoric time. So more than 4,000 years ago, asphalt, that is one of the petroleum products that were used in the construction of walls and towers of Babylon. Okay, so there are also record from ancient China about shallow wells being dug to get the petroleum. Means so this China, okay, and this ancient China, they dug the shallow wells to get the petroleum. But what did our ancestors do with that petroleum? They mainly used it for making their wooden boats as waterproofs and as a fuel for lamps and some traditional remedies. So after some days our science and technology was developed. After that they used this petroleum as a fuel to run the engine. We'll discuss one more topic. Natural gas is another important fuel. Okay, so this natural gas is trapped between impervious rocks, sometimes along with petroleum and sometimes without petroleum. Okay, so this natural gas we can found between the rocks, sometimes along with the petroleum, sometimes without petroleum. Previously this gas was allowed to escape or even burn while pumping out the petroleum. So when they are trying to take out the petroleum, they leave this gas simply or they burn this. So previously this gas is allowed to escape or even burn while they are taking out the petroleum. But now the natural gas is treated as precious, equally precious because it is safer for the environment. Natural gas is stored under the high pressure as a compressed natural gas. Okay, so after some days they know the use of this natural gas, and this natural gas is safe to the environment. So that time onwards they were using this natural gas as a fuel. Okay, this natural gas is stored in the uh, this natural gas is stored under high pressure as a compressed natural gas, that is called as CNG. Okay, so this natural gas is found that is trapped between the imperial stacks, something along the petroleum, sometimes without petroleum. This natural gas is we can found sometimes with petroleum, sometimes without petroleum between the rocks. Previously this gas they will allow to escape, otherwise they will burn this gas. After some days they know the use of this gas and they decided that this gas is better and it is safe to environment. So that time onwards they are using this gas as a fuel. So this natural gases they are storing under the high pressure as a compressed natural gas. So and the natural gases are going under the supervision ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited, throughout the India. In India, gas field have been discovered in Tripura, Mumbai, Krishna, Godavari Delta and Jaisalmer. So in the supervision of ONGC, means Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited, they were trying to discover the places of petroleum and natural gas where it will be available. Okay, so in India the gas fields have been discovered in Tripura, Mumbai, Krishna, Godavari Delta and Jaisalmer. We'll discuss about other uses of coal and petroleum and natural gas. So most of us think petroleum is a source of fuel. Okay, most of us think this petroleum has a source of fuel, but advances in our understanding of various chemical process has led to the use of both coal and petroleum as the starting material for a wide variety of products. Okay, so most of us we know that this petroleum we are using as a fuels, but the advances in our understanding of various chemical process that has led to the use of both petroleum and coal as a starting material for wide variety of products. So means this coal and petroleum we are not using as a fuel, so that we are using as a starting material for the so many products. Okay, this petroleum is a complex mixture. Okay, it is separated into various components by the separation of technique is known as fractional distillation. This petroleum is one of the complex mixture, means in that so many substances are there. It is separated into various components by the separation technique. That separation technique is known as fractional distillation. Means by the process of fractional distillation from the petroleum we will get so many components. What are the components? Once you see the figure, okay, look at the figure, we can see the various products which are now being obtained from the petroleum. So once you see this figure, in this figure so many products are there. These products are obtained from the petroleum. Initially the separation techniques available were not advanced and could separate only a few components from the petroleum mixture. So one of the first fractional to be separated from the petroleum was kerosene, which was found to be better fuel than the petroleum. Okay, so that petroleum so many products are there that we can separate by the process of fractional distillation. So in this figure so many products are there, no, that all are coming from that all are obtained from the petroleum only. One of the first fraction that is separated from the petroleum was kerosene. Okay, one of the first product that is separated from the petroleum is kerosene, and which was found to be better fuel. It is found as a better fuel than the petroleum. Now we can separate the many more components, means fuel gas, petrol, diesel, etc. These all are obtained from the petroleum mixture. So these components of petroleum are then used to obtain the other products. Okay. So these fuel gas, petroleum, diesel, etc. These all are obtained from the petroleum mixture. These components of petroleum are now used to obtain the other products. Okay. This figure 2 shows the coal. Okay. So this is showing the uses of petroleum. So the petroleum is now using not only as a fuel, it is using as a starting substance for so many starting. This is using as a starting material for so many substances. Okay, this is a complex mixture. It is separated into various components by the process of fractional distillation. So here. In this figure we can see the various products which are being obtained from the petroleum. So initially the techniques are not available perfectly. That's why they produced some of the materials, some of the products only from the petroleum. Okay, after that the techniques are developed by that, then after they obtain different they produces different types of products from the petroleum. One of the product that is obtained from the petroleum is fuel. This is better than the petrol. One of the fuel that is a first fuel that is obtained from the petroleum is kerosene. That is better than the petroleum. And fuel gas, petrol, diesel. Okay, wick, stove, dry cleaning fluid, shoe polish, cleaning solution, synthetic fiber, fertilizers, LPG, diesel oil, next lubricant oil, fuel oil, industrial boiler, paints, next asphalt, matchboxes, grease, candles, wash paper, Vaseline, grease, face cream, ointment. These all are made up of petroleum only.